So I'm going to talk now about hypnosis in terms of what it is and what it isn't. And in fact I want to start off by saying what hypnosis isn't. Hypnosis is not something that somebody does to somebody else. And furthermore, and perhaps more importantly, hypnosis is not mind control. So contrary to what I suspect the majority of the population believe, it's not mind control. So it's not about getting someone to do something that they don't really want to do. In actual fact, hypnosis is a natural, everyday state of mind. And you, believe it or not, drift in and out of hypnosis all the time, almost constantly. So let me give you a few examples of everyday hypnosis. One of the best examples is probably that of watching a movie. So you're watching a movie and there's a part in your mind, this part it's referred to as the critical faculty. Some people call it the critical factor. So think of that as kind of the logical, rational part of your mind. That part within your mind knows that when you're watching a movie, it is only a movie. It's not real, it's just fantasy, it's just make-believe. They're just actors playing a part. And yet you respond to a degree, and some people respond more than others, but you respond to a degree as if it was real. So it's kind of like a separating out of two different parts of the mind. You've got the logical, rational part that knows it's only a movie, it's not real, but there's this other part that behaves as if it was real. And this is actually a normal, everyday state of hypnosis, a really good example of everyday hypnosis. Reading a novel and getting so engrossed in that novel, and maybe even creating images in your mind of the different characters and the different scenes being described in the novel, in the book. That's another really good example of everyday hypnosis, because what you're actually doing is just reading words on a page, and yet your mind is able to conjure up these images and so on. Another really good example of everyday hypnosis is driving a car. You get in the car, you start your journey, and sometime later you arrive at your destination. But how much of the journey do you actually remember? How many of the gear changes do you actually remember? And the answer is, well, you won't remember any of the gear changes, and you won't remember hardly anything about the journey itself, because you were on autopilot. Your conscious mind was thinking about the normal day-to-day stuff, while your unconscious mind was perfectly safely driving the car. So that's another really good example of everyday hypnosis. And have you ever had the experience of being so engrossed in something, whether it's a computer game or playing a musical instrument, or it could be doing anything at all, or maybe even playing a sport or a game, and you notice afterwards that the time's raced by. You can't believe how much time's gone by, because you were so focused on what you were doing. And that is another really good example, and a very common example of hypnosis. Now, what I'm going to be teaching you in this course is how to go into deeper states, deeper levels of hypnosis. Because when you're in these deeper states of hypnosis, that's when you can really start to make the changes that you want to make, to effectively reprogram your mind to make the changes you want to make, whether it's to be more confident, to be more relaxed, to be more in control, to be able to maybe sleep better, to be able to deal with anxiety and stress and those kinds of things. So in the next section I'll be talking about hypnosis and why it's important, so the significance of hypnosis. So we're back with part 3 in a moment.